Talking about virtual machine. A virtual machine is a software-based emulation of a physical computer, enabling us to run multiple operating systems over the virtual machine. Like, I can run any type of operating system on a virtual machine. I can run a Mac OS, Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 11, and I can run also a Linux. A virtual machine has 7 principal components. The first one is the hypervisor. The hypervisor is a software that helps us to run our virtual machine over the hardware. We have 2 types of software. The type 1 is what helps us to run our virtual machine directly over the hardware. The type 2 help us to run our virtual machine over an existing operating system. So I can run my virtual machine over my Linux, over my Mac OS, over my Windows. The second component of a virtual machine is a virtual hardware. The same way my physical machine has a CPU, memory RAM, local disk. The virtual machine has that too, but they split these resources from my physical machine. The CPU, the RAM I'm gonna use for my virtual machine, I'm gonna split them from my physical machine. The third tool is the guest OS, the guest operating system. As I said, I can run any type of operating system over my virtual machine: Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. The fourth tool is VMware tools. The VMware tools enhance the capability of the virtual machine and make a better synchronization between the virtual machine and the hardware system. The fifth is the local disk. The local disk is the memory of the virtual machine. Is where we store the operating system of the virtual machine. Is where we store the data of the virtual machine. And anything you are doing on the virtual machine is stored on the local disk. The next tool is what we call the compatibility settings. The compatibility settings help us determine if the hypervisor we are going to use is compatible to run this virtual machine. If the the operating system, the hardware we're going to use, if it's compatible to run this virtual machine. We need to think about that before to create our virtual machine. The next tool I need to talk about is network. The virtual machine use a virtual network adapter to connect to the internet and to communicate with other virtual machines. So by doing that, you can make a virtual machine and run it over my computer. I can run a virtual machine Mac OS over my Windows virtual machine. And in a business settings, I would leverage the technology of visualization in a way that I would help the business to get advantage of the cloud by using the strong skills and the capabilities I have. For example, on Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Azure offers a bunch of services, a bunch of virtualization services, and I would help the business to get advantage of these services, to use them, to improve their capabilities, to use their devices wisely by simply using the services offered by Microsoft Azure, and also to reduce the cost of the business in buying hardware, just using the advantage offered by the cloud. And by doing that, the business will will get better, will improve their capability, and will progress time by time, will progress along the way. This is how I would leverage the technology of virtualization in a business setting. Thank you.